Okay. So today's Thursday, July, I believe the 23rd. Yes, 7/23, 2026. Not the last Thursday in July, so I don't have to do my July in review, which is good because I'm not really sure what I did this month. I know I watched some Godzilla movies, read some Heater. Anyways, not gonna get into that. That's for next week. I will go ahead and say that, as you can see, hand is not doing great. I think I mentioned last week that I got injured, and I know I made a reference to it in my obsession video that I think I released yesterday. So, here's the thing that sucks about this injury. Ruby Knight finally came out, and this is a game where I played the demo, I believe last year, maybe the year before, and I just been kind of keeping an eye on it, keeping an eye out for the release date because I thought the demo was really fun, and I did go ahead and buy it because I've been really looking forward to the game, but I'm like, now I can't play it. It's like, man, if I didn't go to the doctor, even with a broken hand, I'd still be able to play it. But it was pretty gnarly. Like they gave me an injection, just for the anesthesia, and the doctor just like moves my pinky back into place because it had been about because I had a doctor's appointment already scheduled the week after my injuries. Like, cool, I don't need to go to the doctor. I can just do it then. And he had said, yeah, this, I think it's been healing, but it's maybe been healing wrong. We got to send you to ortho. And then it was like another 5 days or so before I was able to get in. I got x-rays done that day, but it just took a few days to, make sure everything was good with the insurance and to get it scheduled and whatnot. And by that point, I was like, yeah, you're in. Here's the splint. So this is going to be on for about a month. So I can't play Ruby Knight for about a month, which sucks, but it is what it is. It's something to look forward to when this is all done. That's thing number one. Thing number two, I'm wearing my OKC shirt. So I'd wear it anyways. It's a nice shirt. I like it, and, go my team. Though it is sad because I know we traded Dort, and I think we just got picks out of it because I think he's now with Dallas, and then we just got a couple seconds, is what I heard. It sounds like it was mostly just kind of got to make the salary work and all that kind of stuff. It sucks to he's been one of my favorites since the that playoff series in the bubble against the Rockets, where in game 7, he was absolutely hitting from 3. He was playing great defense all series. It's like, I've been a big Lou Dort guy, so I'm glad we were able to get a ring with him. Wish him nothing but the best. Hope, I don't want to see him be playing lockdown defense against my team, but aside from that, hope he does well. But the other thing I wanted to say about the OKC shirt is I watched the Masters of the Universe movie last night. And that feels like a weird connection to make, except when Adam landed on Earth, he landed in Oklahoma City, which is something he noted, and I was not expecting the Oklahoma shout out. So that was great. I made a video on it last night. I think it's going out on Saturday, maybe Sunday. Yeah, it's going out on Saturday. Short version. Had a good time. Lots of fun. I was happy to hear What's Up by Four Non-Blondes. But I do have to detract some points because in the new Ninja Turtle movie, unless there's a new one that's come out since, what was it, Mutant Mayhem, they play What's Up, and then it transitions into the He-Man version. But the He-Man version never played in the actual He-Man movie. Can't lie. A little disappointed. But overall, I had a good time with it. Such a good time, in fact, that it made me think. So this was made by Amazon MGM Studios. And I know they're going to do a live-action My Little Pony movie. I still don't know what that movie's going to look like or what it's going to entail. My guess is it's probably going to be something like the Sonic movie, where it's ponies get isekai'd into reality or vice versa. There's always a chance it's just, here's live-action Applejack, and it's just a horse. And I don't know if I'd want to watch it, but I think it'd be funny. But, I don't know. We might get a reveal during Comic-Con of just hey, here's Gen 6, because it sounds like that's, I don't know if that's full-on leaked, but it seems heavily rumored that that's going to get revealed, so they might show off the movie, and the movie might be what kicks off Gen 6. But after the He-Man movie, I'm like, okay, that was a lot of fun, Maybe the My Little Pony movie would be a lot of fun too. And I don't know if it's gonna be like Gen 6 in general, if it's just here's a completely new thing, if it's gonna be just more Gen 4, like here's Sparkle, AJ, etc., etc. If it's going to be a distant sequel to Gen 4, the way that Gen 5 was, or if it's like, yeah, here's just something completely different. Um, Gen 4 is one of my favorite shows ever. Like I feel like I'm contractually obligated to at least check out Gen 6. I checked out the Gen 5 movie and I liked it, but I don't think I ever watched the show, and I don't know if like I'm missing a whole lot, but I might be interested in checking it out at some point. But I'll at least check out the live action movie, regardless if it's Gen 4, Gen 6, or just something else. I hope it's good. I hope Gen 6 is good, whether it's a Gen 4 nostalgia slop or not. But there's that. So watch the Masters of the Universe movie. Haven't watched any Goji movies this week. I watched Obsession. I liked it. I kind of hated watching it. I don't think I want to watch it again, but I like it more the more I think about it. The Odyssey. Also saw that. Loved it. Am kind of interested in watching it again, but I think I sort of like it less the more I think about it. I also have been after watching The Odyssey, I've been really wanting to rewatch the SpongeBob movie, like the first SpongeBob movie, because I've realized, yeah, I think it's just an adaptation of The Odyssey. And I think it might be a more thematically accurate adaptation than the Nolan movie. Because the Nolan movie is about a soldier returning home and dealing with the guilt and the shame of his actions during the war. The SpongeBob movie is about someone with a lot of pride, a lot of hubris, getting humbled, and then going on a journey. Where it's like he gets humbled before his journey, but it's also something that really helps him grow. And I feel like, I mean, Odysseus gets humbled during his journey, not right before. But I feel like it's still a part of it. And I think that makes it more thematically accurate. But alas, it doesn't have that pig scene, which, oh my goodness, that's probably my favorite scene in the movie. Let's see. Sorry, I have to look at my handwriting because of this. I had to write it with my left hand. I'm like, boy, that is surprisingly legible, but that was really hard to write. So there was the Class of '09 puzzle game, which I didn't play. Jose played it, but I watched him play the vast majority of it. I did not see the final route. I did not see the final cutscene in that context, but after he told me about it, I watched it. It was like, from what you've told me, I don't think I'm gonna like it, but I want to watch it myself just to see, because maybe it works better than I think it does. And I'll be honest, like I said in my video for it, I think it works better than I thought, because I think it's well-intentioned, but I still don't like it, and I have a lot of issues with it. Some other stuff. Finished season 5 of 30 Rock, so I'm almost done. I haven't started season 6 yet, maybe later today. Oh, excuse me. I have not read Higurashi in the past few days. Like, Sunday is when I finished, is it Sumiboroshi? I think that's what it's called. That's Arc 6. But sorry, I'm trying to think in my head, because I think in the last video, by the time of last week's video, I'd finished Arc 4 and I believe Arc 5. And then I took a few days off just because I was really busy with work. And then Saturday, I read 3 of the 4 volumes of Arc 6. And I remember thinking to myself, I read 1 volume for each hour of the Odyssey. Because that was the day I saw the Odyssey. And then I finished the arc the next day, and I haven't read any Higurashi since. I still want to. I know, from what I remember, Minagoroshi-hen, which is Arc 7, was my favorite, with Arc 6 being a very close second, and reading the manga, Arc 6 is easily the best one so far. And, I mean, sorry, I think I had a little something in my mouth. I have been enjoying the manga, but it's like, okay, this is good and I like it. And then I get to arc 6. I'm like, oh, okay, this is actually fantastic. I don't know what it is about Ryukishi whenever he gets to the 6th arc where it's just like the best thing in the story so far. Because I love Umineko. And I love the early arcs of Umineko. Like, oh man, I love arc 4 so much. And yeah, I think arc 1 is fantastic. Arc 5 is fantastic. I think 2 and 3 are alright. Like, I like them. Arc 6 is so good and is probably still my favorite arc. As much as I'll say it's arc 8 because I love the ending, arc 6 is probably my favorite. So Higurashi basically doing the same thing is like, yeah, it's that good shit. So I don't know when I'm gonna get to arc 7. I intended to do so earlier this week, but I still haven't. Kind of the same with Karamazov. I've been kind of poking and prodding my way through it. Where am I at now? I'm somewhere in Mitya's book, which I think is where I was last Thursday. So I really have not made a lot of progress, unfortunately, but trying to go as I go. I have done some writing. I'm almost done with Harley's chapter. I've also just been kind of writing bits and pieces. Like, all right, here's a scene. I'm a little stuck on this scene, so I'm going to skip it, but here's some notes, and just kind of trying to put everything together. I think there's like one more bit that I need to finish, and then it's just making sure that everything goes together. And I think there's some bits at the end of the chapter that I'm like, okay, I know I'm going to have to make some edits to it. I mean, it's all going to need edits anyways, as a first draft. But it's progress is happening. We go as we go. So boom, boom, boom. What is that? Oh, that's Miku. So yeah, the World Cup ended. Number 1, the 3rd place game was awesome. And I think because like it was 4-0 England at the half, and then France scored like 3 pretty quick goals in the second half. Like, okay, this was a blowout and now it's a game. With the final score, I think, was 6-4 England. It's like, this was a really high scoring game. This is fun. But I think a lot of that was just because the teams weren't caring as much. Like, France in particular seemed really lackadaisical in the first half. It was something I was thinking about, and I think the commentators had said it as well. It's like, could you imagine the losers of Championship Sunday having to play each other for 3rd place before the Super Bowl? No one would care. Like, I feel like there would be some fans who would, like, we would enjoy seeing more football, and like, here's 2 of the best teams. But like, if you're those teams, do you even want to be playing this game? No, you don't. I think you would just kind of rather go home than subject yourself to a meaningless game. It's like, sure, you're playing for pride, but like, based on the first half, it looked like France just did not care. Like, we don't want to be here, so okay, it's the second half, we're in our asses kicked. Like, I guess we'll try, but like, I don't know. But it was fun. Like, it was a fun high scoring game. And then the final was the opposite. It was a very low scoring game. Not to say it wasn't fun, but it was 1-0. Spain won. Congrats to them. And I had said it when we got to the top 4. It's like, this is what's going to happen. And then Flamenco Miku was going to reign supreme. The fact that the Miku curse was a legit thing is so funny to me. And I'm going to say, as someone who's like, I want to see Flamenco Miku. I've seen a lot of Flamenco Mikus, and I think they've looked really good. I've enjoyed that trend. So, if the curse continues, that means, well, the Women's World Cup is next year. So that means either the women's Spanish team is not going to make the World Cup, or they're not going to progress past the group stage. Or if the curse only stays with the men's team, they're not going to make the World Cup in 4 years, or they're not going to get past the group stage. And who knows at that point? It's like, all right, I guess Mika goes back to Japan or whatever, but we'll see how that goes. The past couple weeks, I had not listened to any Taylor Swift albums. I finally decided to fix that. I listened to Evermore and Midnights. Evermore, loved it, really enjoyed it. It felt very similar to Folklore, and that's good because I really loved Folklore. It was also an album, like, I just kind of sat down near the end of the night, put on my headphones, and it was putting me to sleep in the best possible way. I love Me by Lullaby albums. Midnight's, this is the second time I've listened to the album, because, what was it, 22, 23 when it came out? I was just kind of like, all right, here's a lot of the albums that are nominated for awards at the Grammys. I'm going to give them a listen. And Midnight's just didn't do it for me. It's like, okay, but you know what? Let me try it again. Now that I'm, have a better appreciation for Taylor Swift, what am I going to think of this album? Maybe I'll absolutely love it. Maybe I'll still not care for it. Yeah, I still don't. There were some songs that I liked. What was it called? I think Sweet Nothings is the name. Like, I really liked that song. I like Anti-Hero Fine. That was the one I really heard a lot on the radio. And I like it. I don't love it. Overall, I think it's fine. I'm kind of surprised it won the Grammy. I don't remember what else was nominated that year, but I remember being like, man, here's some albums I'm liking a lot more than Midnight's. And after listening to it again, I'm like, yeah, I just didn't get into it. I don't think it's my least favorite Taylor Swift album, but I think it's probably bottom 2 or 3 for me at this point. But we're almost done. Because like I've said, I'm not going to do the Taylor versions. I've already listened to these albums. I don't feel the need to listen to an hour-long album again 4 times. So I have 2 left. I am excited to be done. And that is not... I say this almost any time at the end of a project. I'm like, I'm excited to be done. This is not a dig at the piece of art. This is not a dig at the artist. It is exciting to see the light at the end of the tunnel and it not be the train. Just, I am done. Cool. Now I can move on to the next thing. Especially because of just how long this has been. And part of that is me not being as diligent with it. Part of it is also 12 albums that are all about an hour each. That's a lot of time. Okay, so I think the only other thing for me to talk about is me and my friends are gonna be starting a new Pathfinder campaign. And I believe the setting is an original recipe by Clay. I think there's some influences from different stuff, but I don't think we're running a module. So the character I have decided on is an ASMR bard, because every time we do a Pathfinder thing, I'm like, I'm gonna play a bard, and then I don't. So I'm like, I'm finally gonna do it. I am playing an ASMR bard named Noelle, and she's a con artist. Because looking into ASMR, it's yeah, they're generally, they're these very angelic, celestial creatures, but sometimes they could be evil, they could be really selfish, and it's always the one you least expect. Okay, that sounds really fun. I want to play this very Darlie Dimple Cozy Glow kind of character. Someone who really uses the fact this is a celestial, this is an ASMR, you expect innocence and good deeds from them. You don't expect them to sell you bad products or be an information broker that knows things they really shouldn't. And I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I think we're doing a session 0. Oh, excuse me. I think we're doing that on Saturday. I'm looking forward to that. I've rolled my stats. Actually, I think my character sheet right here. Let me see. What are my stats? We got 9 strength. Off to a good start. 15 dex. 9 con. Oh, that's right. I'm also a halfling ASMR. I'm not dual races, but because ASMRs don't just have to be human. And they're hey, you hear some of the stuff for different races. I'm like, okay, halfling sounds fun, so I'm going to be very small and very frail. So when I had 2 9s, all right, strength and con. Boy, low con is bad, but I am not going to be a combat character. But 9 con, that's 13 int, 13 whiz, and 17 charisma. And then as a bard, my class skills are basically all of them. But some of the ones that stand out is I think I have a +9 to both my bluff and my diplomacy. Diplomacy, the extra +2 comes from being an ASMR. With bluff, it's due to my background. So my background is con artist, which gives me a bonus feat of either deceptive or persuasive, and I picked deceptive. So that's where my extra +2 to bluff comes in. There was I think it would give me +2 to that and another stat. What was it? It might have been intimidate, because persuasive was diplomacy and something, and deceptive was bluff plus something. Or I think it was bluff and disguise are +2 with deceptive, and then persuasive would have been diplomacy and intimidate, and I went with disguise, disguise and bluff. So I think that'll be fun. I'm still working on my spells, because bards have a lot of spells, and a lot of them are really cool and really fun. I'm like, oh, I can see the utility of this, the utility of this. This is great. I want all of these. What do you mean I only get 2? And even the cantrips, I'm like, there was like a solid 8 or 9, and I only got 4, but I'm glad I at least got a whole 4, because, man, I don't know I don't know what I want to pick. Because Illusory Crowd sounds so fun, but I don't even know if I'm gonna take it. But that's that. I think that's basically it for this week. I know my buddy wanted to hang out today, so I'm looking forward to that, which means probably not a lot of Igarashi or Karamazov today. But we'll see how that goes. I'm getting very close to the end of Higgs, very close to the end of 30 Rock, about halfway through Brothers K, and Orichalcum's chugging along. So, with all that said, I think that's it. Have a good week. Have a good end of July.